All right, Xfinity at Kentucky. These are my settings. Brake bias, doesn't matter too much. We're gonna use it to land into turn 3, so you do want it low. Steering ratio, steering offset is going to be comfort based, of course, so do whatever you want with that. It's gonna be a second lap, hot lap. Let's see, track temperature, 97. So this 97 degrees, you probably should be aiming for like a 31.1 or something like that. That might be what pole is, maybe a tenth faster than that. Good rule of thumb is that from a certain point onward, every 2 or 3 degrees is a tenth. Depends on the track, obviously. But at Kentucky, it's definitely feeling like every 2 degrees is a tenth. The all-time best lap I have down right there, that was on a 93 degree track temp. So I'm just gonna try to get within like 2/10 of that. And that should be a good example lap for this temperature. Just gonna make it a lap 1 here. Should be fine. Lap 2 is probably slightly better. Good run here. Gonna get partial throttle early, let it come down, arc it in, just hold it. Gonna get loose right there, then full throttle off the corner, let it come up to the wall. Great corner considering. Then turn 3, we're gonna dive it a little bit. Try to get early entry, but still dive it to the yellow. It's gonna slide a little bit. Then we go back onto the full throttle, let it come up. Keep it off the wall. Yeah, I said about 2/10 from that. That's about what it is for 97 degrees, so that's a pretty good example in my opinion. Funny how that works. Track temp 96, okay, so gave us a degree there, but it's really crazy how temperamental this combo is. So, going into turn 1, I will always want to arc this because it helps the car stay under me while I can carry more throttle. At the lower track temps, I can get away with like 80% throttle here, maybe 70, but look, as the track starts getting warmer, I'm gonna hold half throttle, let the car come down at half throttle. Then at a certain point when I reach the yellow line, I'm gonna start raising the throttle. Then I go full throttle and I expect it to get loose there because that's just how the car works. It's just the physics of it. So when I go full throttle there, I'm just expecting the car to get loose and I have to react to it, and it ends up working for me all right. If I can catch that a little bit earlier, I can probably gain quite a bit of time, but it's hard to do. So half throttle, arc it, hold the half, get to the yellow, slowly raise it to full, and then just expect the looseness and survive the exit. Okay, turn 3. Early turn in, I usually start turning in. I mean, I guess you can use this Z-Max for the qualifying lap as where you want to start turning in. But you see how I'm getting my nose all the way at the yellow, trail brake to 10%, to 20%. Hold that trail brake until I get all the way to the bottom. I think I did a pretty poor job, honestly, of holding that trail brake all the way down there. So that's probably a mistake on my end. But picking up the throttle once I get to the yellow, you can get really aggressive because this exit's really wide. I think if I had that little bit more trail brake, I would have stayed down a little bit farther, but this was still about what I could do with this because we're just trying to carry our speed through. I think that I could have been had a little bit more favorable exit with a little more trail brake on entry there. You see how it was having a hard time really kind of landing? The cooler the track is, the easier this trail brake into turn 3 is going to be in getting to the yellow. And then going full throttle there. It's going to get loose on you, as you expect, but that's what you got to do for qualifying. So long run, pretty different story, I'd say. This thing is going to want to really heat up your tires on both corners. Turn 1 is going to want to heat up your right rear. Turn 3 is going to want to heat up your right front. All I can tell you is that for both corners, we just want to stay as neutrally balanced as possible. So going into turn 3 here. Just a little bit more emphasis on staying on that yellow line a little longer. Might not be quite as good of a run getting off because we didn't get to the throttle as early. But still going to be favorable for our overall race. Turn 1, I'm actually going to go even half throttle earlier, get down earlier, just hold it. Really make sure I'm not spinning my rears at any point of the corner. And that's about how fast I can go while comfortably doing it. Turn 3, brake early, Really want to be on that yellow. Missed it a little bit, so I'm just going to hold my trail brake a little longer and then just do the same thing. We can let it come up the track like this because it's not asking the car too much. You can see we're 2/10 off of what our qual lap was that we just ran. That's what you want to avoid, those little right rear spinny moments. Early braking. A little bit too early, but I'm just going to keep it down here. And you see how like straight we can make the exit when we just stay down on the yellow that long? And it's not even slow. So here, just a little bit shallower of an entry, a little bit earlier of an entry, and we're just going to hold it on the yellow. Then we're going to go full throttle as we come off the corner. Very good. Tires are going to fall off crazy here. Brake down to the yellow, hold it there. Then once it's stuck for a little bit, we can start driving back up. Don't be afraid to let it slide up. If you're gonna have to turn the wheel more just to make the exit, then that's when you should be worried. But just because the car slides up on its own doesn't mean it's bad. So you can see how it's like the same as my qualifying lines, except everything is just not asking as much from the car. Oh, a little bit too early there, but we're just gonna deal with it. A little bit later on the throttle just to show you guys. Could be a little bit more comfortable getting up there. Do a couple more laps here. And as we get later into the run, we'll start widening out. Maybe different lines start coming into play into one. But don't even consider anything but the bottom while you're still able to have some sort of throttle all the way through the corner. I don't think top turn 3 of Kentucky has ever worked ever. I could be wrong. I'm down to be proven wrong. That was a good lap. Let's try the top of 3. Or sorry, the top of 1. I don't think this is going to do anything. It's just like, I feel like I'm holding the same exact throttle as I was in the bottom. I mean, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Probably close to even, considering like me messing up a little bit by not running that line before. So yeah, I think 1 might become multi-groove, but like this turn 3 is all about getting to the bottom early so that you can make a straight line out of the exit. Let's try the top one more time with 3. Don't have to go all the way to the top. Ow. You see how I'm just never letting my car slide up the track? You just gotta drive the car as if sliding up isn't even an option. So turn in early, lift a little early, get on the throttle early, all those things. Okay. So yeah, that's what I think the lines are going to end up being. Should be pretty consistent throughout the whole run. 1 and 2, you might see some different lanes as things start to dynamic track themselves into existence. 3 and 4, I can't imagine anything but that straight line, exit line is good. 97, 96, so right rear wear. Kind of like to see that, but in the Xfinity car, I'd rather see even wear over that because the right front and the right rear can just destroy themselves just in different ways. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you all on the track.